Start off with relevant theory today, talking about market segmentation. So as we know, market segmentation is all about identifying customers with shared similarities and dividing them into groups in order for marketers to tailor a specific product to that market that best fits the demands of the people in the group. So we're going to be discussing two methods of segmentation, psychographic and lifestyle segmentation, because these are the two methods that marketers can easily use to capture the cashed-up bogan market. So psychographic segmentation is customers being grouped based on similarities in their activities, interests, and opinions, their AIOs. Lifestyle segmentation is a subcategory of psychographic segmentation, and it focuses more on dividing people into groups based on the consumption choices they make in specific product categories, and in turn this reflects their lifestyle choices. So these two types of segmentation are often a lot more effective like traditional methods such as geographic segmentation or demographic segmentation, and this is because there are so many individuals within those two segments, geographic and demographic, that have completely unique traits, characteristics, needs, wants, etc. So it can be really hard for marketers to market one product at that segment and meet everyone's demands. Marketers can use psychographic and lifestyle segmentation methods to capture cashed-up bogans' wants more easily because they've got such a wide range of shared traits. So looking at psychographics of the cashed-up bogan market, individuals are typically involved in a big drinking culture, especially classic Australian beers like BB and Carlton Draft. They also share interests in driving loud and fast cars like Ford Falcons and Holden Commodore Utes. So that's psychographic segmentation. Marketers could also capture shared traits in relation to lifestyle choices, as many have similar consumption habits in this market segment. So these, namely being that they love to spend big on pretty much whatever they can get their hands on. They often make purchase decisions based on wanting to relate more to other people in the community, so they want to be like all the other cashed-up bogans. One journalist reporting on this phenomenon has said that these people who have ignored champagne and Aston Martins, instead spending on Holden Commodore special vehicles, Fords, Hummers, Jet Power and Yamaha power skis, Honda bikes and home cinemas from Harvey Norman. And I think this statement really reinforces this notion that in Australia that cashed-up bogans are all money and no class. So we're going to move on now to the theory of conspicuous consumption, and this concept essentially links spending on luxury items with social status or prestige. By definition, it is the notion that individuals seek to spend big on designer brands or luxury items in order to increase or improve their social image. So cashed-up bogans typically spend big on high-priced luxury items, as we've mentioned, like waterfront houses and ski boats, which under this concept would typically represent status. However, these purchase decisions conflict with other visual cues displayed by the segment. For example, heavy rowdy drinking and wearing out-of-trend clothing such as flannelette shirts, ripped jeans and double pluggers. And I think this is really why most people in Australian society don't really view cashed-up bogans as having an affluent social standing. So I've added in the next video, it's an ad from Victoria Bitter from back in 2009. It's about essentially the cashed-up bogans there right at the end of the video, and you can kind of get a sense of all these traits that we've been talking about throughout the relevant theory. So to finish our relevant theory, I wanted to quickly discuss the impact of two major social trends on the cashed-up bogan market segment. So firstly, our current economic situation is more than likely to impact this segment, as many will have been in a position in the past to afford a house, and they will have mortgages or other personal loans that will be impacted by the interest rate hike that we're currently encountering. Individuals in this sense will then have less disposable income to spend and will have less capacity to maintain their lavish spending habits. And then secondly, I want to talk about the political situation. So many cashed-up bogans, as we know, are employed in the Australian mining sector, and the mining boom is essentially where their newfound wealth has come from. So because of this, they are likely to be impacted by the slowing economic growth in China. As we know, Australia relies heavily on China's demand for iron ore, so the slow of their economy may mean over time that jobs may be impacted in this sector. Additionally, many Western countries are currently facing a lot of political tension with China, and this has the capacity to impact the jobs in this industry in a similar way. The reason why this political situation is especially relevant to the cashed-up bogan market is because often these people don't have a tertiary education or trade, which makes them more vulnerable to these impacts, as low-skilled workers such as machine operators or labourers are a lot more expendable to these companies than mechanics or engineers.
I'm sure you've all heard of the term cashed-up bogan or cub for short. The term refers to an Australian who is unsophisticated and of a lower class background but achieving a high income. These people spend their money on flashy and trashy items to fulfill their desire of a high social status. The stereotypes include the bogany speech and mannerisms that are considered to signify poor education and uncultured upbringing, which is a reflection in their bad taste for poor possessions and lifestyle habits. The term cashed-up bogan arose in the early 21st century, a time of great economic prosperity in Australia. While the cub may be strongly associated with Western Australia, their economic capital has afforded them the chance to move wherever they please, so they are not readily identified by geography. The cub is associated with the unmatched demand from Asia for Australia's mineral resources and the associated widespread need for skilled labour across the country, which opened up opportunities for highly limited segment of the working class to earn relatively high incomes in the mining sector and extend their involvement in consumption. People with only a high school diploma, no skill or talents were suddenly ranking in the income of middle to higher class economy. Simple labour was earning them close to $100,000 to $150,000 per year. The classy and well-educated citizens thought they would see the end of them sooner or later, but when the Gordon Gas Project was announced in 2009, the Cubs were on track to earning even more money. You can spot a cashed-up bogan when you see one. They all have the same McMansions, boats, an army of jet skis, water sport toys, silver chains, motorbikes, luxury clothing, expensive home entertainment systems, and their calling card is a neon candy paint, chromed out, extra large, $80,000 Ford Ute. On their off weeks home, they boast about spending thousands on the weekends drinking beer and eating out. Saving their money has never been on the agenda. For this reason, marketing campaigns started to target this group as seen in the 2010 BV commercial The Regulars. They have large amounts of disposable income in hand, but their taste does not compare to the professional working class. In today's era, YouTubers and social media content creators have similar traits to the cashed-up bogans. Most do not have a university degree or skilled trade like the Cubs are known for. They are regular people with making millions from sponsorships, YouTube ads, channel memberships, and even start their own businesses and have merch. Their hobbies such as gaming, makeup, and lifestyle have become their full-time jobs. They have escaped the generic 9-to-5 and have out-earned the white-collar workers. Unlike the Cubs, many of the YouTubers and social media stars have a huge fan base. People often look up to these people now even more than celebrities because they are everyday people. They have become mainstream celebrities. However, people do not agree they have class or taste either. They need to flaunt their wealth to fit into the celebrity world by buying all designer clothing brands, expensive watches and jewellery, and must have the latest sports cars and Mercedes G-Wagon.
The cashed-up bogans market would be attracted to goods and services that offer convenience and are purely for entertainment. Cashed-up bogans who are interested in luxury utes and vehicles are individuals who sense a sense of freedom, power, and excitement, as this market segment wants superior and quality customized vehicles to make a statement, as well as to show off their wealth while enjoying the outdoors. For example, Holden Commodore and jacked-up four-wheel drives, as well as jet skis and boats, are examples of vehicles cashed-up bogans would purchase. Another purchasing example of a cashed-up bogan would include expensive entertainment, as these individuals want to enjoy a luxury experiences, as they have a lot of disposable income to splurge on high-end products and services that will offer them a unique, exclusive experience or comfort in their own home. The final purchasing example for this market segment is luxury clothing. Cash-up bogans don't have taste and typically buy high-end products look wealthy, overlooking fashionable, as luxury items often have a high perceived value which can be appealing to those seeking a status. To target and attract cash-up bogans market segment, service marketers must use data-driven strategies to identify products and services that are attractive. Social media should be utilized to reach potential customers, share content, and engage with followers, while relatable influencers can be employed to tap into the demographics' interests. Furthermore, partnerships should be established with companies offering similar services to reach a wider audience while collaborating on marketing campaigns, sharing resources, and developing joint promotions. Finally, emotive language and imagery on campaigns should be used to appeal to the segment's sense of identity and belonging. Therefore, cash-up bogans will be likely to take an interest in the product or service. Cash-up bogans are not sustainable in the long term, as cash-up bogans refer to people who are wealthy but lack sophistication and have questionable tastes. Stereotypically include the blue-collar trades, such as electricians, builders, and mining industry, where these people who come into a large sum of money suddenly. This kind of lifestyle is not sustainable because without a continuous influx of money, the money will run out, leaving the cash-up bogans without any financial security. Additionally, their spending habits are often reckless and are not designed for long-term savings, meaning their spending will outpace their income.
New Zealand cashed-up bogans is increasing. However, is this the same growth experienced worldwide? The modern-day growth of cashed-up bogans is not being experienced on the same level as Australia and New Zealand as other countries, however still being experienced. Economic factors that are shaping the growth of other market segments around the world include population growth, changing spending habits, and rising incomes. The term cashed-up bogans is known as a group of people with a high level of disposable income, however considered to have little class. The term cashed-up bogans is considered the new rich. This is being experienced in other countries as they're known as YouTubers and influencers, and that is a worldwide group of people. Another group of new rich are video gamers experienced across the world, with the top gamers in Denmark, Finland, and China, which make millions per year. Economic forces that are shaping the growth of other market segments around the world. Economic forces are factors such as interest rates, employment, inflation rates, and increased use of technology. All of these have direct effect on how businesses produce and distribute their products and services. The increased use of technology can improve efficiency and reduce cost, making it easier for businesses to operate and compete in a global market. This in turn can lead to economic growth, job creation, and increased consumer spending. This can be seen in using platforms such as Instagram and TikTok in order to form opinions on certain topics and the way in which people spend their money. The worldwide term cashed-up bogans nowadays would be considered influencers of this generation. Influencers are typically adults that don't have secondary education. They are considered to have a number of followers on platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Their role is to promote brands such as fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. They influence their followers to buy certain products that they are promoting, and in return they receive a considerable pay for how many items sold due to their post on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. Influencers can make from $500 to $3 million per post, depending on their following or status. Example 1, Kim Kardashian, with an estimate of $1,689,000 per post. Kim Kardashian is another celebrity who rose to fame after being featured in a TV series based on her family. Kim Kardashian is very popular on social media and consistently has media attention, both good and bad publicity. as a lot of people state that she has no skills, however, still gets paid to promote brands. This is an example of one of her posts recently for Sugar Bear Hair, where it roughly cost $1,690,000. Sugar Bear Hair is an American brand that claims to grow thicker, faster hair than any other brand, and Kim Kardashian was paid to promote it. Example 2 is an Australian influencer. Shani Grimmond is the highest paid influencer in Australia with a following of 1.3 million followers. On average, she makes $2,700 per post, that roughly posts 3 times a week. This averages out to $400,000 just made on Instagram. This is an example of one of her Instagram posts for an activewear brand called Crop Top Boutique. Influencers are typically seen as first-generation rich, therefore they have high levels of income, however not necessarily know how to use their money. They typically buy designer items, fast cars and travels. They don't typically invest in shares and property in order to grow their wealth. Brands use influencers in order to grab attention of young viewers in order to sell products and services. The main economic factor used is the increased use of technology in order to sell products and services.